Kia ora everybody, welcome to Open Up Bro. It's a very good evening to everybody that's tuned in and watching on Facebook Live. It's great to have you on board, and I want to encourage you to stay tuned tonight. Don't clock out, don't take any time out of this session. This is a very important session. What a great opportunity we have here tonight to open up an issue that's affecting our nation, it's affecting our homes, our families, and our generations. Tonight we're going to address the issue and the matters around suicide. Taking life, or life leaving us premature, and it breaks the heart, it breaks the family, and it leaves us in despair. So hopefully tonight in our session we can give some solutions, some insight, some encouragement through this heart issue around suicide in our communities. Just the reflection last week too, I just want to thank you for tuning in last week. We were talking about prison inmates, those that have been in the prisons in Mount Eden and Serco, and just the fantastic reports, obviously, of these men that have been involved in Man-Up and the mentoring to change and turn their lives around for the better and for their families and children. So, yeah, that was a great session last week, guys, and so look forward to the session tonight. Without further ado, though, we're just going to kick off with an AV tonight, and we'll come back to you very shortly. Check this out.
New Zealand is well known for its beautiful landscapes and very laid-back people, but there is a very worrying development. It has the highest youth suicide rate in the developed world. That's according to new figures from the UN's children's organisation UNICEF. Now, the average number of adolescents aged between 15 and 19 who kill themselves among the countries surveyed is 6.1 per 100,000 population. For the UK, if you compare that, the figure is 3 per 100,000. For Australia, Japan and the US, the figures are a little bit higher, as you can see. But New Zealand is at the bottom of the table at 15.6. That's more than 2.5 times the average rate for adolescent suicides. Let's talk to Dr. Prudence Stone, the New Zealand child rights advocate for UNICEF, who joins us from Wellington. Why do you think the figures are so alarming in New Zealand, Doctor?
Well, to put it frankly, it's because our government, I'm talking successive governments, have not been strategic enough in preventing these statistics from occurring, and they could have.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Open Up Bro. So here we are on our panel tonight. I'm very, it's really awesome to have a handsome bunch of men joining me tonight, and here we have over here Tala, Robbie and Renata. Kia ora, brothers, and welcome to Open Up Bro. Thank you for taking the time to be on the show here with us tonight. Very touchy topic, something that's really close to home for all of us. I guess we've all had encounters with suicide within our families or friends, and it hurts, and it can hurt for a long time. And so, you know, really tonight, I want us to open up. We're going to talk through some things, and you know, you're watching tonight also, you know, if you've got questions that you'd like to put to us as a panel to maybe answer or discuss, just go ahead right now as we open up our discussions. So, you know, 606 of our people in New Zealand committing suicide, premature death, never seeing the full potential of their own life, their families, you know, never been able to grow with them and grow old and experience the things that we should experience in life. You know, what is behind New Zealand's shocking suicide stats? I'd like to put that question to you, Tala.
Yeah, well, look, as you see, 606 people died by suicide, which means that there were 606 people that got to a place of hopelessness. They got to a place where they thought there's no light at the end of the tunnel, and so that was the only way out for them. So they've decided to die by suicide, kill themselves by suicide, or whatever method that they took to do that. But it just shows that there's a lot of people out there, and you know, with that number on the rise, it means that, you know, if they're hurting, well, who are they talking to? You know, are there places that they can go to? You know, what is it that stops them? But as I said, it's a phenomenal number for a small country.
Yeah, I mean, who, you know, when we say, you know, we maybe point our finger at the government and say, well, they're responsible because they hold all the money. I mean, that could be partly right. But, you know, who is responsible when we're in the streets, at home? You know, can I put that question to you, Robbie?
Yeah, well, I think it's probably a tricky question, the fact that, you know, you look at the government and think, what can they do about it? But, you know, for me, I'd have to ask myself that if I was in that situation, where would I go and what would I do? And the only thing I would think of is a helpline, you know, outside of friends and family that I'd go to. And if I didn't feel comfortable enough, then the helpline would be the only way to go. And whether I'd be confident enough to ring a stranger on the other end of the phone to save my life, I don't know. And I think that's probably a real barrier, as much as it is probably one of the only things that we think about and avenues to go down. It's a genuine barrier for us.
Yeah, well, thanks, Robbie. I'll put you on the spot a bit here, Renata. Have you had the opportunity, have you been in the position where you've had to go to the aid of somebody to help them out in a suicidal matter?
Yeah, there is. But before we get into it, I just want to... It's about breaking their culture inside our homes, with the culture of our parents, starts with our parents.
Right.
We're about to harden up, and then we've got to stop that harden up their culture where we can, because it stops and breaks our kids down from coming to talk to us. Right. And this is where it comes from, with my kid that I've just talked to recently, who had messaged me through Facebook, thinking that he had suicidal tendencies. So I went around to his place. When I got there, his parents were in, and his partner was there. So I got there to talk to the parents, and they didn't know anything about it. So I went into the room to talk to him, and I told him, well, you know, your parents are here. Talk to your parents about what you're going through. But he thought he was hopeless. He was working, he had a 9 to 5. He had a kid on the way, and his parents, he just thought that he was working for nothing. He had no purpose, had no hope, but he thought that he couldn't talk to his parents because of their culture.
Culture, yeah. Anything else, Tala, to add to that question at all?
Yeah, look, I mean, I guess the government can only do so much, and, you know, throwing lots of money at the situation is not going to answer it. But, you know, money is important, especially if we want to service those that are helping out with supporting those that are struggling with suicidal ideation, suicidal thoughts, going through, you know, their own hurts. And so that's where the money is quite important, to be able to fund those that are in those particular areas. But look, I think it starts in the home. And I think we need a real culture change in our nation to be able to change it, because really suicide is only a symptom really of hurts, you know, and there's a lot of contributing factors, contributing issues that people have faced in their own lifetime, and that's pushing them to a place where, as I said earlier, where they've got no way out, and they think they want to end the pain, and some of them don't realise that ending the pain is, you know, trying to end the pain temporarily is the thing. And so, you know, I think I believe the power is in the home, and I think that's where the fathers have to stand up and say, you know what, enough is enough, really. You know, we don't want any more of our people dying. I don't want my children dying to suicide. I don't want my wife or my relatives or friends. And so, you know, to make a stand like that, you have to actually make some changes in your own life. So you know, I think it's a very good topic to discuss tonight.
Interesting, we talk about homes, you know, that's they say that's the place of formation. It's the place where identity is, you know, formed and shaped, and you're supposed to get a lot of affirmation and confidence and assurance in life, especially growing up. I mean, is that, let's just be real though, is that really happening?
I think from a childhood, Kane, you know, when we fall over, or we have our children that fall over when they're young and they graze their knee, and, you know, the first thing, you know, we do as parents a lot of the time was we run over to them, we tell them, you know, it's all right, get up, you're okay, and we try to send them on the way again. When the alternative to that is to say, you know, are you okay? You know, is everything all right? And then let them go. But we sort of have this default setting a lot of the time where we go in and we try to shut them down. It's an embarrassment to cry. Don't cry, son. Up you get, and away you go. And we're actually hardening them up at such a young age now, where we're suppressing their feelings, their emotions, and we wonder why now we're dealing with this generation that's been so hardened, and now we're trying to soften them and soften these men.
Yeah. Well, thank you, guys. Look, that's our first discussion tonight. We've got a couple of others, a couple of discussions to get through this evening. And one of the things is that, you know, I just want to put it out there that there is help. There is help. There's helplines. These phone numbers will come up. Other organisations that we partner with and support. Also our own 0800 number, 0800 One Man Up. And as we've already said in the introduction, it's about reaching out for help. Sometimes it's not your family, but reach out to somebody. You're never alone. We want to emphasise that you're not alone. There are people that genuinely care out there, And so we just want to enforce that and let you know that you are cared for. You're cared for, not only by other organisations but by Man Up as well. So we want to put that out there. We're just going to cut to an AV now of got some comments from some of the men, just in their experiences with suicide. So check this out.
Yeah, I've had a couple of my cousins actually succeed in committing suicide. A few attempts of some family members. Instead of thinking that you're alone, you're not alone. Man Up's here. Man Up can help. Legacy can help a woman. And just whenever you're feeling like you're by yourself and you're alone and that, just know that we are here. And you can reach us on Man Up Auckland on Facebook. Just pick up the phone, it's free as, and there's someone there that really cares, and really we need you here, really. So yeah.
Yeah, well, for me, suicide runs rampant in our family. I've had 3 of my cousins, close cousins, commit suicide. Also 2 of my uncles and many of my friends commit suicide. The effects are just awful on the people that they leave behind, awful on everybody that's there, and also awful for themselves. My advice would be just to find help, if not find help, get with a place of understanding, people that can get around you and help you out with the feelings that you're having. Most of the times it's not your fault that you're feeling. Other times you just need to really pick yourself up and get to somewhere where they can help you out.
I've had a few family members commit suicide over the years. A couple of uncles, a while back though, but still it's a generational thing, in the family pretty much. And just anyone out there that's feeling suicidal or anything, or knows of anyone, there's help out there. Don't think that you're alone. Man Up's there to help. Yeah, there's no need to go through that by yourself. There's heaps of support out here, especially from Man Up. I can't really remember properly how they dealt with it and the effects it had on me, because I was that young. But I know it's happened.
Hey, welcome back. Open Up Bro. We're talking about suicide tonight, and thank you for being on board. Such a message that we need to discuss and open up about, and share with whānau as well out there. And I think it's really appropriate that we talk about this topic of suicide. It's so maybe something that hasn't been discussed, but we're discussing it tonight here on Open Up Bro. As I say, I've got my panel here, Tala, Robbie and Renata, so I'm really appreciated having you guys back on board again. So, look, guys, out of the 606 suicides, 457 of them are our men. I was going to ask a question. Why? Why is that the case? Tala, I'd like to put that to you.
Yeah, look, obviously that's over 75% of our men that died by suicide, but, I think again, the expectation of what people think a man is behind that as well. Man is supposed to be tough, a man is supposed to be the one that is not weak, is supposed to be strong in every single way. So they're not supposed to show signs of weakness, emotions.
Good point.
People could say, you're soft, and then, so hence why maybe our men are not talking. Our women are okay in talking. They're pretty good and opening up, and they've got our men for whatever reason, and that's come through generationally, really. Is that our men are expected to be strong, to be tough, and so that sort of is a huge barrier in why men don't reach out.
Do you think it's a bit of a guilt trip when, as a man, as you say, the traditional man, he's the provider, protector, hunter gatherer, and if you're not providing for your home, if you're not providing the things that are for a family, is there guilt that comes with that?
Yeah, definitely. I've got to agree with Tala that I think a big thing is pride. Something that's probably not spoken. It's good to be proud of yourself and have a healthy self-image, but sometimes that can be the thing that holds you back from being able to talk. And the fact is, there's a lot of shame and embarrassment that people come to in a place where they start to talk, and it's seen as a weakness. Where really it's a strength when you can sit in a room and talk face to face with somebody else about the deeper issues. And pride's that big thing that prevents a lot of people from talking, a lot of men.
How, Renata, or anybody, or Renata maybe, how have you overcome that pride and that staunchness, that sort of harden up, bro, and now moving more towards being open?
Yeah, or just breaking down those barriers where rejection, or the pride side of it, where what I believed in was that a whole sense of belief of I should be proud of being staunch, I should be proud of being angry, I should be proud of having the stigma. Where it's not really that you should be proud of being open, being proud of being able to talk to someone and letting that out in them, and trusting in them to be confident enough to trust you with your whatever you have inside. Me, I had a lot of hurt, and I trusted them, my Iron Man for them. So I had to open up in a way where I never thought was possible. So it is possible to open up to our brothers, and it goes with men being rejected. So it starts with rejection and breaking down. So when you see that, and you can see the men that are not really interacting with their family members or shutting down on their family members, these are the people that we want to encourage to open up, brothers. We're here for you, we can hear you, and we care.
Thank you, Renata. Tala, as a father, what is our responsibility? What is the responsibility of a dad to begin to shape this home culture, this community culture about opening up and talking, about anything?
Look, I know it starts with me. It starts with me as the husband, as the father, really in my home. And I have a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old boy, and with my wife has really led the way in that way when we say our prayers at night, and then before they go to sleep, she'll say, look, is there anything in your heart that you're carrying? Is there any hurt? Has anyone hurt you today? And you know what? There are times when they do open up, and they say, I have something, Dad, you blame me for this and you blame me for that.
We don't always get it right, do
but what I'm saying is that it gives them the opportunity to be able to open up, and so we're culturing that in our home. We're helping them to open up so that as men they know when they grow to adulthood that it's something that comes natural to them. And so that's just one of the things I'm doing at home. But I have to open up too. I have to lead the way. I have to be vulnerable myself, and when I'm wrong, I have to apologise. When I'm wrong, I have to ask for forgiveness. So that's just in the home, and that's where everything starts. As I said earlier, the home is such a powerful place of formation and teaching our children. And if we want to change the generation, then we have to start in our homes and change the new ones young ones that are coming through.
Wow. Thank you, Tala. Māori are the largest ethnic group in this statistic. We're over or high representation of our people. And from Kaikohe, from where you come from, the small towns of New Zealand, what would you say is the contributing factor to why our people, are depressed and feeling down?
And again, it falls back on the parents, and just teaching them. It's like monkey see, monkey. They're going to see their parents drink. They're going to see their parents do drugs. The child's going to go do drugs and do the same as what their parents are doing. It's up to us as parents to teach the kids, that drugs and alcohol is a main factor in suicide for our Māori. Because when they come off the drug, they have no, like you said, they have no one to talk to. They're in a place of darkness, and they feel like they have got no way out. For us to give them that way out and let them know that to believe in themselves, I think is the way as men, for us men anyway, to get other men to open up is the biggest, hardest thing to do in the Northland.
Thanks, Renata. And that, Renata just highlights, a very powerful thing and a story that's we're going to show right now. Jacob is an AV regarding testimony of being at the lowest point of his life and how he had to deal with that. Even his wife's involved in this story. So tune into this AV right now.
couldn't control my thoughts. Felt like I was really losing my mind. I became mentally ill, jealous and insecure, and I was all directed towards my wife. I thought she was mucking around on me. I think that's where it all started for me.
Oh, it broke my heart. It wasn't the guy that I'd married. Our youngest baby, she could feel it, so she would cling to me. It was hard because I'm trying to look after her. I'm trying to look after my husband at the same time.
My kids wouldn't even come near me. They'd always be in their room, or if I came in that end of the house, they'd make their way down the other end. I got sad and I sort of switched off. Wouldn't eat and couldn't sleep, so I was pretty much useless. Going through all the pain obviously every day just gets really tiring. I just lost all will to live.
I'm the type of person that likes everyone to be happy, and if they're not, I'll do whatever I can to make that change, and I couldn't help him.
I remember locking myself in the bathroom, taking apart a shaver and getting the blade, and I felt the cool edge of the blade on my wrist, So anyway, I had no sleep that night, and I woke up in the morning. Everyone was, getting ready for school. My wife's getting ready to go to work, and that was a especially low day. I had made my mind up. This was going to be the last day that I was going to be here. I said to my wife, "You might want to stay home today, And she said, "Why is that?" I said, "Because I think this is the last day. This is the one."
I didn't know what to say. The first thing I said was, "Go on then." I think in a way that was me challenging him. It's like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Of course I'm not. But you're thinking different now." And I got angry. I was thinking, how dare you?
I cried and she came alongside me and we were crying together. And I remember just saying to God, "Please help me, Please help me and my family." For some reason I remember seeing this guy in a wheelchair. One of the times we went downtown during that week, and there was something about him. He's in a wheelchair, And I just sat down, and there's only Bruce Walker, and he was saying that he suffered from certain things that I was suffering from. He said he was free. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, and obviously I was curious. It felt like hope to me.
After one of the meetings, he came home and completely different, and the kids started to come out of their room more. They could see that, okay, something's happening today, something good's happening, there is a change. And they started to laugh again and have fun. Since he started attending the Man Up, it's taken him through those steps of learning how to deal with the thoughts, deal with the emotions, deal with the attitudes. Nothing else has worked. Psychiatrists, psychologists, medication, natural medication, magnesium, drink this tea, drink that tea, nothing until he's started Man Up. For our situation, that's huge. Going from not being able to sleep at all to, where's that? I was asleep. That in itself is amazing.
Since I came to Man Up, everything that I was struggling with is gone. And for the first time in a long time, I'm free. And I feel like a real man. Man Up saved my life.
Hey, welcome back. I just want to introduce my panel again. It's great to have the brothers here, live on the panel here on Open Up Bro. Tonight we've been discussing suicide and identifying suicide as an issue, a crisis in our nation, but also talking it through about how we can bring solutions into our family. And we'll be talking about fatherhood and the importance of raising our children. And we're going to continue that, and this is sort of the last discussion for us tonight, guys, so thanks very much again. So, they talk about awareness of suicide, prevention, and even intervention, which are very important safeties for people out in our country. But right now, I want to talk about solutions. We talk about a problem. I want to also talk about solutions that we could actually talk about and share with our audience tonight. So what solutions do we have? You know, we're talking about men. 457 men have committed suicide this year on the ground. You know, on the streets, at home. What are our solutions? You know, Talal, kick it off over here. Right?
Yeah, well, look, I think one of the first things is to be able to, you know, I mean, we can't stop getting hurt and getting offended and getting wounded by what people say and what people do. But I think for us is to be able to look out for our brothers, look out for our whānau, and if we see someone that's down, to be able to say, hey, man, are you okay? Hey, and then if they're still not okay, then it's good to ask the question, are you feeling suicidal? You know, are you having suicidal thoughts? And I think it's good to put it to them because you never know what they could be going through. And that's a very powerful question to be able to ask because what it does, it allows that person to, if they are feeling suicidal or thinking that way, it allows that person to think, you know what, actually, you know, I'm so glad you asked me because I was thinking I'm weird. I'm the only one thinking this way. So I think that's one of the things that we can do as people really is to be able to be aware in any setting is to be able to say, hey, are you feeling suicidal? Especially if they're down and they're not really opening up. And well, I think also Man Up. You know, for me, Man Up has been a place where men come and they come and they talk and they open up and, you know, they come to a place of safety and they're able to talk about the deepest, darkest secrets that has affected them, you know, in their childhood. And for them to be able to bring that up, it's powerful. And really, it's like, you know, it's like if you're feeling like vomiting, hey, if you're feeling like, man, I want to vomit, and there's something in there, and then when you vomit, you know, man, it's a great feeling, eh?
A release, eh?
You know, you guys know the parties that you guys went to.
The parties,
but, you know, I think, yeah, look, it leaves an aftertaste.
Yes.
But you know what? You can wash that aftertaste away. But yeah,
Definitely.
you know.
That's awesome, Tala. Yeah. So you know, look, what Tala is saying, you know, is that you know we've got to create this. We've got to create a culture.
Yeah.
Got to have some confidence to ask the right questions, right or wrong.
Yeah, well, it's getting the engagement. Eh? I mean, like, there's so much awareness now at the moment, you know, around suicide, but there's a difference between awareness and then getting the people engaged and getting them to open up. And I think where Man Up's been so successful across the country is the fact that, you know, we've been that bridge between the awareness factor and actually the talking side of things. And we're seeing it throughout Man Up, throughout the country. And I think a lot of that comes back to trust. Because there's, you know, so many organisations and institutions out there, but the general person, you know, is not really going to go and front up there and walk into, you know, it's coming to us to say, hey, we want a piece of this. But the fact is that we've got that engagement factor, which is what people are struggling with.
Yeah. Dad, that's my dad, by the way. This is Matty, everybody. It's great to have him on the panel tonight. Dad, what's your experiences with, you know, just, as I say, engaging with men that may be depressed or having suicidal tendencies?
Yeah, I'll take you back to, we've had a suicide in our family, brother-in-law, and one of the regrets, I guess, that was my regrets is I never listened to him, I never believed him. 5 times, I think it was the 5th time that he actually committed suicide. But every time he said it to my wife or you know in our company, that I'd just tell her, don't believe him. He won't do that. He won't do it. And he did. I have to admit that I never, listened and spent time with him to talk to him, to discern. Which is something that I guess at that time that was my first experience, but I've learned to for the signs, the depressed look on the faces, especially those connected to their family members.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's got a family member or their family. So really, reach out to your family. Those that are not strangers to you, you should be able to discern or pick up somebody because you've been around them most of their lives.
Yeah, true.
And so I think that's a good call for families to reach out to families,
Yeah.
whānau. And that's a good starting point for me. I'm very alert. and I watch some of my family, so I can see, you know, the face tells everything. The countenance, head down, not up. So there must be something going on for that person. Man Up's been fantastic. You know, we've been able to, like I say, in the Man Up environment to touch that spirit, that bully. You know, if there's a bully out there that we want to knock over, it's that one, suicide. So yeah.
Awesome there. Thank you. Look, guys, we're coming to the end, and what I thought would be really important is often one of the greatest things that we need as men is encouragement. Courage, to be encouraged, to be uplifted through words from somebody. And I just want to give you all the opportunity, maybe 10, 20 seconds each, to just give our whānau out there some encouragement. I don't know which way we start. We probably start with Lenato over here.
No, kia ora whānau. I just want to encourage you to have that burning desire to be there for your families and be there to be courageous to help everyone, help one another. And that's where Man Up comes in. Man Up to Tangata.
Kia ora, bro.
Yeah, I think a big thing is bringing those barriers down. And to bring those barriers down, sometimes we have to say sorry to some people that we've hurt and ask for forgiveness. And that's a big thing that people hold unforgiveness, and there's grudges and rariraris that we have. I think to bring them down, that word sorry goes a long way.
Kia ora whānau, look, you know, very important to reach out. You know, you're not alone, and I just want to say that if you're watching this, then you're very, very special, which means that, you know, there's a great purpose in your own life, and, you know, you don't want to, you know, the world is at your oyster, you know, the oyster, that. But, you know, you've got your whole future ahead of you.
Yes.
And so, you know, reach out, and you can reach out to Man Up. And, you know, we've got a brotherhood here that are able to be able to support you and to provide the help that you're after.
Fantastic. Look, we are at the end of our segment, but before we leave, we've got a very important, well, very special item. That's my father, Matt, as I said, and we run Man Up. My father runs Man Up in Rotorua. My brother runs Man Up in Rotorua. It's a family thing. We're making sure that we don't take life by chance. We do it by design. And I'm very proud that my father and brother and myself are all in Man Up through Tangata, raising fathers to save our family. And I've asked my father to come on live and sing a song that he wrote about friends and family that may be going through these difficult times and challenges. Thank you, Dad.